Oh, I thought that said G.
That's ATG. Oh, that's the guy from.
But I saw the name. I saw that. I thought it said Jig. Like, that's an interesting name to give to him.
If you need me to turn up. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Potato Shop Podcast. I'm joined here today with Shaun. What's that YouTube channel again?
Oh, well, its current name is officially Shaun.
Oh, okay. Well, see, that's why I couldn't put up. I couldn't find it. I was going to put it up. So, all right, we'll put that link in our description. But we're here to do the watch along with the NWA When Our Shadows Fall pay-per-view. So I see we've got 2 viewers right now. So if you look right there,
Yeah.
that's how many people are.
Oh, okay. I see it now. So you know what? 3. I wonder how many. I wonder how many people are thinking this is going to be one of those things to where that we're going to be showing up for free.
Well, we get that a lot. We get that when we did the Undertaker one.
Yeah.
We got like 600 people.
Yeah.
Watching, and they were. I guess they assumed we were going to show the Undertaker's retirement.
Yeah.
It's like no.
You can always tell by the camera angle because if you tune into something and the camera's like sitting off to the side facing the TV, that's when you know you're getting it for free. Watch it. But anyway.
Right. So once again, if you haven't already, please go to our YouTube channel and subscribe.
See, look, we're down to 1.
Oh no. Oh Lord.
Oh Lord. Oh well.
Now that's
Now, for those of you who aren't, I'm not familiar with NWA. I haven't been watching it, so these are fresh eyes on this product. Who is this guy? What's his story? Why does he walk around like that?
Now the other guy. No. I was about to say. Oh no, we've already lost all of our viewers. Can you believe that bullshit?
Well, you know what?
What's that?
You got to start somewhere.
As throughout the day, we're gonna have multiple viewers come through. I wish I had your. Let me get your. You got your YouTube link?
No.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Fine. Now they just started finally letting fans actually come back into the studio.
Oh, okay.
So it's a limited number of fans, which I don't know if you've watched UFC. Have you watched any of the UFC with fans? Like since they've brought fans back in some of the arena,
yeah,
it's a completely different show.
Yeah.
The fighters seem different.
The energy is different. Yeah, because I watched the Rose Wei Lee fight on there, which Wei Lee says that the fans booing her sort of threw her off, and caused her to lose. So it makes a difference.
I can imagine, but they started opening it up. So once I know we can get back down there, I'm going back. I want to go to this. Now I think that's Crimson. Well, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know who the hell these guys are.
Are you sure you watched this?
I watch it occasionally. I pay $5 a month not to watch anything.
Now, where are they located at?
Georgia.
Georgia. Oh, okay.
Yeah. And it's just a really good. The good thing about this product right here is it's 1 hour.
Yeah.
They do. I hope and I pray that they don't. Like if they start doing monthly pay-per-views, it's not like I'm gonna buy one a month.
Yeah.
But you build up to a pay-per-view, I have no issue about paying $20-$30.
Yeah.
Every so often.
So we got an 8-way tag match.
Yeah.
Let's see, we got a Billy Gunn.
I don't know why people didn't. Out of everything that they can mimic from ECW, the one thing that they should have mimicked was the way the 3-way dances work.
Oh, yeah.
When you get pinned, you're out of the match.
Yeah, and it keeps on with the other two.
I have never understood why the ECW pay-per-views Why that portion wasn't copied by ECW, you know?
Yeah.
But no, if you've got $5 just to blow each month, I highly recommend getting it. Because this used to be on YouTube and for free. And what was really cool about it was Billy was like, well, when we go to these TV stations to try to sell the product or to get a thing, we'll do, we can say, look, this is how many viewers we get each week and how much we've watched, how many unique views and so forth and so on. And I thought that was kind of an interesting idea. But then he was on Busted Open this past week. And I wish I could remember how he said it, but he said, you know how everything's been given away for free now?
Yeah.
If something's good, you got to pay for it.
Yeah.
You should pay for it. It was something like that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. If you have a good product, people will pay for it.
Right. And you need to somehow, like, as much as I would love to see them say on YouTube, so I don't have to pay for it. I get, you know, what they're doing. As long as they give me good, decent storylines and stuff. And like I said, it's an hour long at best. That guy right there is like a jobber.
The one in the
sour, in the
yellow,
yes. I like the looks of them guys, whoever they are. What do you think about all them wrestlers? You see all them wrestlers get released? WWE's getting ready to get sold.
Oh, you think?
Yeah. That's what everyone keeps talking about. I mean, they released some big names.
Well, I saw they released people. Like, I don't pay too much attention to, but I saw where they released people. Braun Thurman. The Braun was one of them. And I saw where Braun Thurman. I saw. Is that his name? What's his name?
That's enough. Brian Strowman.
Yeah. Whatever. It's the translation. But I saw where Bubba Ray. I don't know what he goes by. Bubba Ray Dudley was commenting on that. Was he commenting on it? Yeah. And he was just saying, look, it's like they pushed him. No, was it him or somebody else? Either he was commenting on him getting released in regards to they kept pushing him, said nobody liked his catchphrase, catch these hands, and they were pushing him, and he just never really got over to the level they want him to.
Right.
I can't remember if I'm getting confused with that or if I'm getting confused with Velvet Sky's current gimmick that was taken from what's his name?
Velvet Sky?
Yeah. You know that crazy gimmick she has?
Velvet Sky's on here.
Okay, wasn't that Velvet Sky?
Alexa Bliss.
Yeah, Alexa Bliss.
Like a Bray Wyatt.
Yeah, Bray Wyatt. I know they were talking about Bray Wyatt and how, they took, and like they kept doing all these things to not bury him, but, that he was pretty much being buried and taking his gimmick and giving it to Velvet Sky.
Right.
Yeah. I'm getting things confused as far as who said what about what.
Well, the thing is, the problem is Bray Wyatt was a wrestler that could have been pushed.
Yeah.
CM Punk probably said it best in his last tweet. He sent out a tweet last week.
Oh, I didn't see that because CM Punk has me blocked on Twitter.
He blocked you, or did he block a group of people?
I mean, he blocked me specifically.
What did you say?
Well, I'm not sure if he blocked me specifically or for his group. What happened with that was, and I like CM Punk, but he was talking about he was basically making a comment saying, if you're not Native American, you're an immigrant.
Uh-huh.
And I just respond, and he's married to AJ Lee, who is Puerto Rican. I think she's Puerto Rican, but she's born in America. But anyway, she has answered what all this other stuff, and maybe has the other place. But long story short, and so I just said no. I basically told him, if you're born in a country, you are a native to that country, and pretty much that was it. Something along those lines. And I looked back and blocked.
Wow.
So it was either direct block or he chain blocked, but I don't think he chain blocked because
you got chain blocked by Rob Liefeld, right?
I don't know if he.
And wasn't he the one, like you said, you went in there and he blocked you?
Yeah, he blocked. See, it's I don't know. I know I've gotten chain blocked before, but I'm not sure if Rob Layfield and CM Punk chain blocked if they were direct blocks. But with Rob Layfield, he was defending somebody, who was claiming that they were being like mistreated and bullied and stuff, and then people were pulling up like, no, this guy is the one that's actually bullying people, and I guess he picked his side. Same too, because I don't really have anything against Rob Layfield either, except that he can't draw. But he's the one. But he has the crew.
Yeah, the CM Punk thing was he pretty much said that WWE's got all these really good actors, you got $1 million budget, and you got nincompoops as the writers.
Yeah.
And you really can look at professional wrestling like that. And like I think really what I would like to see them do too is to one of the big things was they were all live shows were down.
Yeah.
What I would do is I wouldn't quit doing live shows, but I would try to put them all together.
Yeah.
I find it so ridiculous to have Raw, SmackDown, NXT. I get they're like Florida, so
yeah,
like they were supposed to be there growing up, they're learning. I like the guys that are, but SmackDown and Raw, you're the main roster. It's not. No one's actually sitting here going, I'm a SmackDown guy. I'm a Raw guy. You know, no one cares.
So you would you would get rid of, basically you would just
live shows would be them together.
Oh, okay.
And they do, instead of doing like 300 days a year or whatever, since they're down.
Yeah.
Do 20. That way it gets people time off.
Yeah.
And things of that nature. That's what I would combine two shows.
Oh, okay.
And there's a man with a mask standing at the side. See that? See him right there?
Yeah, I see him. Is he in the Lucha Libre announce table?
No, that's where they usually do the interviews, right there.
Oh, okay. Not the Lucha Libre announce table, but
the Spanish.
Yeah, Spanish.
No, that was no, they don't have one. That right there is like a where they do interviews.
Oh, okay.
And why they don't show the fans is weird, since they're letting fans in.
Maybe it's not. I don't know.
They only got 2 people to show up. Because I think what they did was have wrestlers out there, and it was real awful.
That looks cheap.
What?
When you have wrestlers standing out.
Well, they never did. They never panned on them.
Oh, okay.
So you just heard they gave them the fans, the noises.
Oh, but you didn't actually.
You never saw the way the camera is angled right here.
Oh, I don't like that move.
What? Dangerous?
Yes, it looks like it could. One wrong move, you can injure the guy's neck. Of course, that's usually how you think when you start getting older.
You know, the good thing about that was when he jumped out of the ring, the camera's on them laying on the mat on the ground while that guy was in there getting the pin. So goes bad camera ain't working.
Yeah.
I guess if they want some real help, they contact me.
Well, they want you to write and produce and
subscribe to the channel. That's how you get my business. Congratulations to our representatives from AAA.
Tyrus of Austin, Idaho. Wait a second.
That Tyrus is from Fox News.
Well, I know him from
WWE.
Brodus
Clay.
Yeah, Brodus Clay. And then I forgot he was on. Is he still on Fox News?
Yeah, he's on Greg Gutfeld show. I think he must be one of the regulars.
Huh.
The current NWA World Television Champion from Jacksonville, Florida, weighing at 230 pounds. This is the Pope.
What was he? What did he use to wrestle?
He
Was it ECW?
He was ECW, WWE. He was Elijah Burke. Then he went over to Impact Wrestling.
Cause I remember the Pope gimmick from.
He was Julio De Niro,
Oh.
I think, in Impact. And here he's
I wouldn't go so far as to say Pope's not bothering him back. Pope just don't have time to deal with what we refer to as foolishness. But when foolishness comes, Pope responds. And when it comes to Austin Idol, when it comes to Tyrus, see, they're big men. There's one of them. I gotta face all three of them tonight. But nonetheless, if you don't get that, that means one is Austin Idol and the other is Tyrus. And two. But that's not gonna be a problem. Tyrus thinks that he's solid, but everybody's solid until you pull a little heat on them, Daddy. And then we're gonna see exactly how solid he is when Pope turns up that fire right here tonight.
he's going. I don't know how old he is, but I've always liked that guy.
Yeah.
And I always think he could be a star. I don't wonder if he's just one of them guys, like a head case in the back where they don't want to put the title on him, or if it's something to that nature. Oh, look, we got a comment. Let's see what happens here.
Or if they just don't.
Show. What has happened so far? I guess he put the comment up on nothing. Did you see the comment?
Yeah, I saw whatever so far.
We bothered Pope. I would be in the main event tonight for 10 pounds of gold if it wasn't for Pope. Did I interfere in his matches? Did I cost him money, fame, and glory? No. So tonight, you're going to pay the price. But I want to dedicate this match, my victory tonight.
Oh, we got someone watching. Hey, everybody. Who did he just?
Familiar with this.
What?
The Love Alive charity.
What are we doing?
I was wondering who he was. Tyrus is about to take on the Pope in a non-title match, and Tyrus is talking with his manager, Austin Idol. Have you ever, you know Austin Idol?
No, I don't.
He was an older wrestler from the 80s.
You know what we should have?
That's the end.
Okay. But great. You know, next time you do this,
Wikipedia.
next time you do this, what you need to do is you need to get some wrestling figures, right?
Yeah.
And then, since you don't want to show the broadcast, because what we could do is reenact. Like while the match is going on, I can sit here and I can play with the action figures and recreate all the moves and stuff that the wrestlers do, so that the audience gets it.
Yeah, that'd be a really good idea. And then we don't have to worry about being, sitting in a chair where we look like a midget or, something like that.
Oh, we lost our viewer.
Yeah, I know.
Ignore them, Brian. Just ignore
I'm
them.
gonna block them.
Just block them all. Yeah, just start. Just put everything. Just put everything to private.
That's what I'm gonna do.
And then have one video going. You've all been blocked. He's folding up his shirt, man.
I wonder what the BP stands for on his. See around his boots, that looks like his knee pads or whatever. So what have you, if you been reading about the Batman? About how it's in financial, like I'm wanting to do reshoots, and then I've heard some people say, no, this is all a lie. And what's that guy, Gamecock or
Doomcock?
Doomcock.
I saw some stuff on that. Of course, I didn't dive deep into it because first of all, the second I hear Doomcock, I already just go ahead and dismiss anything that's being said.
Why has he always been wrong?
I think sometimes he's been wrong. I think a few people said he's been right. You know, he's just one of those people that when I've heard him before, it just seems to be one of those individuals that just wants to, I don't want to say stir the pot or whatever.
Right.
But like I say, a few people said he's been right on some stuff. So, you know, he has his channel, his followers, good on him. And then of course, you know, I was watching somebody else and they said that the site that reported it, it's one of those questionable sites. And of course, you know, it was on Reddit. So they always say that's questionable. If anything, don't Reddit. But that's a give and take too, because there's some stuff on Reddit that's actually legit as well. I'm playing politics right here, you know, so I don't offend people. But like you said, we quit joking around. But the thing is, when they say that they're going to do reshoots, well, reshoots are fine. But when they say that it's going to go over $400 million, I call BS on that, because looking at that movie does not look, even though I haven't seen it from there, it doesn't look like it's going to be a $400 million movie. I looked up Dark Knight to see how much that cost to make. Nolan, because this movie has a similar feel to it. And that movie was $185 million.
Right.
And so I would say that the budget for this movie is probably around that. But I it's one of those things where, long story short, I don't buy the rumors.
I think the rumor, I accept. Yeah, I accept that. But one guy was talking. He said that the reason he didn't believe it was because DC put out like that whole like a event zone or something they did, and they had a little section specifically for this Batman movie.
Oh, okay.
And he said if they thought it was so bad, they wouldn't have had that out.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't know if they had seen a complete cut.
Yeah.
Like a partial cut. I don't know. Look, I know they were talking about how Matt Reeves didn't want this guy Robert Pattinson. Robert Pattinson didn't want to work out.
Yeah.
That's almost like when Sting was up in the rafters.
Getting fat.
Well, he didn't get fat. He got skinny.
Oh, he did?
Remember, he didn't work out.
Oh, yeah.
And then he came down and he wrestled in a full-body spandex thing. Remember?
Yeah, I remember the full-body spandex, yeah.
It looked really weird. And it's like, you're telling me this entire time you never looked at Sting and sat him down and went, hey, man, you're shrinking on muscle. You need to start pumping up. We got 2 months to go. Or, hey, we've got 30 days to go. You need to start pumping up some. You know? And I'm trying to figure out, when you're looking at Robert Pattinson, one, he was already a skinny guy.
Yeah.
Two, if you're going to say, hey, Robert Pattinson, you going to do this Batman film? Are you going to get jacked like old Ben Affleck?
Yeah.
To get on the gas?
Yeah. See, I want to know what the legitimacy of all that was, too, as far as them being upset with him.
Cameras on!
Excuse me. But he is supposed to be a younger Batman, just starting now.
What's that?
Robert Pattinson.
Well, he looks like a goofball.
The only thing I don't like the way he looks with his hair.
No.
That's the only, and I think that's what they were complaining about too. One of the reports I heard say they didn't care for much for the Bruce Wayne stuff.
Well, yeah.
And that, like I said, that's my biggest complaint. Yeah.
Tyrus, I've always liked that guy, but do you think it kills it though with the whole, like with the
That's
gray
not very
beard?
flattering.
Which one?
What Tyrus is wearing.
That's just typical gear.
It doesn't make it flattering.
No, it doesn't. But so the only thing you've missed so far, there was a 4-way match
I haven't missed nothing.
and tag team match.
And I'm going to interject real quick on your conversation about Warner Brothers and the new Batman movie and all that stuff. Listen, Warner Brothers gives two shits what anybody thinks about what they want to do. If they want to have Batman as a whatever, They're going to style him however they see fit, and they're going to cram down your throat, and you're going to be damn glad they did. That's just the way it is. Right, I got a message from the Warner Brothers executives. There it is. That's what they got to say.
That's what Big Tank is. You know.
And if I catch you sticking your hand in here,
You mean like this?
you're pulling back a
like
nub.
that?
That's strike one.
You would eat it like it.
You have one bite.
Were you carrying the shoe cam?
No. Very neat.
Okay.
Yeah, because they look exactly alike.
I did it from the visual, from the corner of my eye. They're letting fans in there now. They've got a few fans. I want the Pope to win. Pope is awesome. I only like Spider-Man films. Who's that? Trailer Park. There we go. You know, if you see that come up, let me know. Let's see. Fans are going. What's that say? Fans are too important to professional wrestling. Absolutely.
Yeah. I agree with that 100%.
If you don't have fans in the audience, you're not going to get any. It's no good.
Well, when you go back through, and it doesn't.
Look at UFC.
Yeah, it doesn't matter which era, which time frame in pro wrestling history. When you go back through and you watch Jericho's debut, you watch when Hulk Hogan turned on WCW. Any of that stuff, okay?
Uh-huh.
What adds to those moments and what makes those moments special is the reaction from the crowd. When Brock Lesnar ended the streak,
Right.
that wouldn't have been that. I mean, obviously, yes, that would have still been surprising, but that would not have carried the same impact as it did when he silenced the crowd.
And as he said, Hogan slamming Andre.
Yes.
Thank you for the interjection there. I hope the Pope Nick Aldis will retain the heavyweight championship tonight. In my opinion, I think he's put the NWA on its back and carried it
On his back.
Yes.
Right.
Nick Aldis.
Yeah, that's right.
Has done excellent. So when you give it over, I think you're going to go. I would give it to him. Now, I think Nick Aldis. I think Trevor Murdoch's an excellent wrestler, for what it's worth. But I understand. That's who I see happening. Who do you got? Nick Aldis.
Nick Aldis.
And he don't watch. Who you got? Nick Aldis, Trevor Murdoch.
I'm going to go with Trevor Murdoch just to be different.
So who do you got? Trailer Park Cinderella?
Well, Austin Idol.
Yeah, Austin Idol. He's a Aldis by DQ. But look at that. Aldis is going to cheat. I get that. I think he'll win. That's how he's going to win.
Look, Nick Aldis.
Both just won the match or lost the match. Tyrus cheated. Had something in his hand there. Austin Idol is great. I would like to see him get more of a unit. I don't like when they do the X when it's fake.
Oh yeah.
I see the lady there, Kylie Ray. She's the one in the yellow.
Yeah.
She'll start with Impact and she quits. She starts with AEW and quits. Now she's over here and she'll quit. I'd give her a show by show back. She would never get a paycheck from me.
The only people she'd be beating would be enhancement talent.
Absolutely.
She wouldn't beat any of my names. There he is, your man, Tim Storm.
Oh,
right there in the middle. In fact, I had to point him out to you. Tells everybody you don't really know who he is.
You listen to it on radio. So, what WWE releases could you see coming to the NWA? I think Braun Strowman would be the number one. Because Billy Corgan has said that's who he
Billy
wants.
Corgan has mentioned Braun Strowman. Right. I'll be honest with you. As far as releases and whatnot, NWA is about building a nice roster, and they're taking a very methodical approach to it. I can honestly, depending on what these guys are looking to do, I could honestly see just about any of them because, in all honesty, Thunder Rosa has made her name here on NWA, and she's been on AEW, not only wrestling there, but she's defended the NWA women's title on AEW television. So, we're in a day and age now in pro wrestling to where these organizations are working together, and you're seeing talent swaps and stuff like that. So,
the Thunder Rosa is a phenomenal worker. She's a great talent. Melina is what she is. Like I said, Kylie Ray's always come. This guy, Garrett, Kylie was supposed to be the first women's champion. Like I said, I think if it was me, I would have Braun he should just go be like Andre.
yeah.
NWA, Ring of Honor, AEW, just jump around, New Japan, whatever. Don't sign a long-term deal. Have that Andre business going on.
Forcing Thunder Rosa and Melina to wait.
Yeah. Mind games. It's all mind games.
who's Tim Storm whispering to?
I think he's whispering to Velvet Sky. I guess.
That she's going to be interested very much in our co-main event, Camille versus Serenity for the championship.
Thunder Rosa, I think, has a school with Jazz and her husband.
Yeah.
So, because he was talking about how Thunder Rosa's always going to have a place, and she will have a place to train, but she's already.
I got a notification today. Ring of Honor is selling tickets for their upcoming live shows. So I got a notification about letting me know the tickets were going on sale.
Oh, really?
So that's really good news. And I don't know at this point this year that we'll see a Crockett Cup, but I look forward to them doing another Crockett Cup. But you know what? I say screw Atlanta. If I was NWA and Ring of Honor, I would take it somewhere else. Atlanta doesn't deserve their business.
Well, you want to go to a state that's going to have open policy. So you can have that open gate type deal. I know Ring of Honor is going up to Maryland. All is going over clean as soap.
No, well,
That's
possibly.
I can agree with that. Kylie Rae, she was a good wrestler when she's here, but like I said, she'll be there and then she just quits.
Like, how many places has she been to?
AEW, she just quit.
Yeah.
She went to Impact Wrestling, just quit. And this was just a few months ago. They're real close because, it's not like she had a breakdown here and then she went elsewhere and stayed for a couple of years. I don't know what happened to her.
Who do you have winning the women's title tonight, Allison Kay?
No, that's Camille and Sarah.
I'm sorry.
Sarah
Yes, you're right. You're right. And I've got Allison Kay on the mind.
Right.
But
I've Camille.
Camille, yes.
Strictly Business is going to be. They're going to be doing very well tonight. I predict. She has extreme anxiety. Yeah. That's the truth.
Who's that?
Kylie Rae.
Well, she might have extreme anxiety, but she's going to have a short career if she don't get a handle on it.
Yeah. But hopefully she can come here, get it under control.
I was here thinking maybe situations where she gets hired on at one place and then another place calls and she goes, I like that one better. And just like, maybe she thought she was moving up. That was a miss, or maybe she's difficult.
Who?
Yeah.
No, I would expect her to have the anxiety.
Yeah.
Look at old Lars Sullivan.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know him now. The thing about Lars Sullivan, he would get all anxious. He couldn't go out to the ring and perform.
Yeah.
So when he was about to make that was what they were saying online.
Yeah.
And then he had some other things come up on his past, but that's okay.
That's something. Yeah.
That's nice. Tessa Blanchard is a terrific worker. I just didn't like when she won the Impact Heavyweight Champion. When you're a lady and you're 5'2" and you're beating the Machine Brian Cage and all the other male wrestlers in there, and then you just hand over the belt, you don't even lose it. I have issues with that.
Right.
When you were BYW champion, you always did. You always did a proper thing for business.
No, I did.
Well, speaking of which, Shaun, when you were BYW champion, what pressures did you feel when you were champ?
Just typical pressures of, going out there and just, wanting to put on a good performance for the crowd and, having to help keep the company afloat.
That downturn of pro wrestling. Let's see. She took it off Sami Callihan, not Brian Cage. I thought she beat Brian Cage. Didn't she pin Brian Cage?
Self-talk. But so Tessa Blanchard won the actual award
over an Impact.
Uh-huh.
But then what happened was she left. Now she's really good.
Yeah.
That's the bad thing. Was I don't think it's a bad thing. You got to be creative when you start having like men drop. I think you got to be creative with your booking here.
Yeah.
Let's see what's the next one to say. He went through Fire Pro in Greensburg in North Carolina. Greensburg, North Carolina, I think.
Well, at least you gave it a shot.
Right.
So, I mean.
She went to Mexico shortly after winning the title because she got married. COVID happened while she was there and couldn't show up to Impact tapings. Well, that's what they say, but they also said by reports that she was being difficult to work with. She was promising to show up to drop the belt or something.
She went Shawn Michaels on him.
That's what they say. So I don't know if that's right or wrong.
You look back through Shawn Michaels' title reigns, and he rarely did the job as champion. There were a few instances where he did, but man, once he'd get the strap put on him, whether it was Intercontinental, World Heavyweight, didn't matter. It was rare that guy was doing the work to put people over.
Right.
Which match was it? Was the Stone Cold Steve Austin match with Mike Tyson that they were afraid Shawn Michaels wasn't going to do the job?
Right.
I think so.
And Undertaker was there waiting to see how it finished, because if Shawn Michaels didn't do the job, he was going to go out there and make Shawn Michaels do the job.
Shawn Michaels, the most talented crybaby of all time.
There's probably truth to that.
Yeah. I wonder when he came back and, he found religion. I wonder how. Yeah, I know he was a changed man, but it kind of makes you wonder how much. All right, so
here we go.
Rosa just carried back Tyra Terrell. So now it's Melina. Oh, yeah, pulled her tight.
That's an old school finish right there, buddy.
Pull her pants right down almost. All right, so Kylie Ray and who was the other? Tyra Terrell just won. Kylie Ray pulled the tights, so that was nice to see. Let's see what was there. WrestleMania 14 Taker was going to beat up Shaun if he didn't do business. Yep. That's good. I think that was a smart move right there, having her win. Even though I know she's got the high anxiety and stuff. Fred Rosser. That was Darren Young in WWE.
Introducing first, from Miami, Florida, at 239 pounds, this is Mr. Nowadays Fred Rosser.
I think Serena Deeb does a good job as NWA champion. She's done a good job on AEW representing the championship.
This is Serena Deeb looks like heel Bret Hart.
Yeah.
What?
It says Serena Deeb works like heel Bret Hart. I love it. That's from Trailer Park Cinderella.
I'm going to have to check out
And then
Serena Deeb.
Shaun left the arena in gear for the Undertaker that night. Cornette says, who is your favorite people to listen? Do you like listening to Cornette on podcasts or by YouTube? I don't listen to his podcast. I see his YouTube clip, but he is always so negative. That's what bothers me.
Yeah.
I think more than anything. Like if you listen to Conan, Conan and Disco Inferno, they might have something negative to say something about someone, but they'll be ones where they're like talking positive about people.
Yeah.
I tell you, I find that the stuff I enjoy listening to the most are the guys that actually do like interviews with the wrestlers, like Hannibal, or the title match. I can't remember what their thing's called, but anyways, like here recently, I've been watching a lot of shoot interviews with Jesse Ventura.
Right.
And, you know, and it's neat to hear those guys do, you know, recount their time and stuff that they had, you know, direct knowledge of. You know, because, like, for example, Jesse Ventura has been talking about, or at least on the videos I've watched here recently, he was talking about the whole union going, you know, trying to get the union in there, and the fact that Hulk Hogan rolled on him. Because he said that, you know, he said that he had been approached by, and he gave the guy's name, but it was a guy that was involved in the union already. And he told Jesse, he said, "You guys need a union." And, you know, and of course, Jesse was on board with it. And he said that when he did the little pitch to the boys about going union, he said there was no brass in there. Right. And then next thing you know, McMahon finds out about it. And so during the trial, Jesse had his attorney ask McMahon, you know, had there ever been talk of union? Had, you know, and he says, yeah. He said, I think Jesse was talking about wanting to unionize. And he says, well, did you hear Jesse say that? And he goes, no. He said, well, then how do you know Jesse said it? He said, Hulk Hogan told me. And he said that under oath. And Jesse said, he said, I didn't react to when he said it. He's like, but he said, I could have fell over out of my chair. He said, because Hogan was a friend. And he said, for Hogan to throw me under the bus like that, you know.
Right.
And, you know, but then he said that he had to quit because he said that McMahon was not going to let him do Predator. And he wanted to do Predator. And so he, you know, he quit the company, went out and did Predator. And then, of course, he did Running Man right behind that because him and Schwarzenegger hit it off. And, you know, and Schwarzenegger told him, he says, hey, there's going to be a part in Running Man that'll be perfect for you. Anyways, long story short, when Jesse did come back to WWE, he told Vince, he said, look, you ain't got to worry about me and wanting the union anymore. And Vince goes, why is that? And he said, well, because I'm part of SAG now. And he said, so I've got my union. You know, he said, I'm part of that.
Yeah.
And, you know, so he said, I'm not looking to try to push anything else. So, but you know that, I mean, Jesse wasn't the first wrestler that you heard, like, you know, I don't think Hogan, I don't think they wanted him to do the bit with Rocky.
No, that was Vince Sr.
Right.
Right. Vince Jr. would gladly put anyone out there on television and expose the business. So he says that Hannibal had an interview with the Goon, which was Wild Bill Irwin from AWA. And what's it say? Last 17 minutes of the shoot interview, the Goon cursed at Hannibal. He was drunk and incoherent. That's no shock. Let's see. I got trained by Ricky Morton at Fire Pro Wrestling Greensboro. It's a good school, but it's taking bumps. Hurts. I can't do it. Ricky Morton, School of Morton. So was he just a guest trainer there for you?
Oh, that was a little rough.
From what I've been told, the people who were telling was Iron Sheik to break Hogan's leg was Vern Gagne and the other promoters. I don't know if Vince Sr. told to do that, from my understanding.
I don't think Vince. Well, it doesn't make sense that Vince Sr. would want Hogan's leg broke since it was his company that Hogan was representing. But at that time, Vince Sr. really wasn't a player in the.
No, I think he sold the thing, what, 83, 84, his boy.
Vince McMahon.
Yeah. I like Fred Rosser's name because I just like the name Fred. I don't know why that is like I think it's a cool thing, you know?
Yeah, he's done JTG for sure. He changed it up on him. We were talking about before about being too familiar with one another. Red roster definitely has the upper hand. He changed gears as we saw, and now JTG is down in trouble.
That was
weird.
That was a real awkward move. I wonder if he thought that one up on the fly.
Maybe he was going for a leg drop, but the guy wasn't turned
Wasn't
properly.
turned,
Yeah.
Slowing things down. Where do we look at that? Look at JTG.
I could see you know, talking about some of those WWE wrestlers that were just released. I could see Aleister Black going to Ring of Honor.
Yes, Aleister Black would easily fit in that.
He would absolutely be a good fit for them.
So he grew up in Portland. My grandfather had many Portland wrestling flyers and ticket stubs, prized possession.
Still going to take JTG a couple seconds, if not more, to recover from that.
Did you ever go to any of the Portland events?
I was like, how big was wrestling in Portland? I mean, I don't know.
I don't know.
But no, that's what I'm asking because I know like down in like you got the like Atlanta, the Carolinas, especially back in Florida in the old days. It was really big. I didn't know if like Portland was like a big territory.
I believe it might have been back in the day.
Yeah.
Maybe. In all honesty, as far as my memory of territories go, the furthest out west we went as far as knowing who the business, knowing them guys was AWA and World Class Wrestling. I don't remember going much further west as far as with promotions.
Right. Well, I knew it says there it was Don Owens' territory. Portland was the Piper territory in the early 80s. I did know Piper came from there.
Oh, okay.
I do remember that. I think it was Buddy Rose for some reason. Wasn't Buddy Rose there? For some reason, and then he went over to the AWA. You remember Buddy Rose?
Yeah. Playboy Buddy Rose.
Yeah, Playboy Buddy Rose.
Men were jealous of his body.
Yeah, that. When did he did the? Remember he had the diet thing where he would put like powder on his belly and he would blow the weight away. That was one of his things that they were. God, I miss wrestling when it was like I was telling him, I was watching a damn Dave Sullivan shoot interview with Hannibal.
Yeah.
And it was like Dave Sullivan of all people pulled me back and I was like, man, I just missed that time back in that early 90s. I mean, I like the Monday Night Wars, don't get me wrong, but they started we were talking about they gave away so much.
Yeah.
All the main events were on Monday night. Why buy pay-per-view?
There was literally nothing on the pay-per-view that you couldn't see on any given Monday night show.
Billy Jack, the Buddy Rose, the Grappler, Raven, Scotty the Body guy started telling the report. Wow. See, that's why you need territories. Because if you looked like he was about to lose.
He was about to lose. But I agree with you. There's a benefit to having territories.
Right. You know, with all these like mergers, like MGM being bought by Amazon, for instance. But now you have very few people looking at the stories and going, hey, we got to try that. There's going to be you sitting there and you're going to look and go, I don't understand why this is any good. So you're going to pass on something. And that's what happens with wrestlers too.
Yeah.
There's probably a lot of people that are pretty good to get passed on by the WWE system.
Well, but it also helps keep these guys fresh.
Well, that's
I mean, it's the some of the gimmicks and stuff that hit back in the day can never be reduplicated because you can't create the Road Warriors. They were an organic team. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that just came to be, and the fact that they had the ability to move around and go in and, like you said, be an attraction and not just locked into, years on years kind of contracts.
Right. And you know what? I do think that I do.
Aleister Black best fit with New Japan or ROH?
You can read it louder.
No, I don't want to read it louder.
Yeah, no, we do agree with you.
Aleister Black was best. No.
We do agree with you that Aleister Black would be best in Ring of Honor. I didn't even think of New Japan.
Did I see where WWE was going to be working with New Japan, or was
Yeah,
that?
they're talking about forming a partnership with them.
Serena Deeb's the only woman that works today that works a body part. She's good. FTR want her in the Pinnacle. Wow.
Well, I will say this. Welcome to the NWA. JTG, but we got to keep moving because we do have some championships on the line coming up. The War Kings and Strictly Business. They're involved in this triple threat match where they're going to...
Stevens and Kranos, they've been having fights, so they're not going to retain the belt. I'm going to go with Strictly Business, Vladimir and Adonis, Chris Masters, or Chris Adonis, I guess his name is. Let's see, I think the New Japan WWD just enough for NXT Japan. Just means NXT Japan. And I don't
Where do I
think...
know that dude from? With
Which
the
one?
spikes on his shoulders. Is he an MMA fighter?
No. He was former NWA champion. Tim Storm beat him for the belt. If you remember when they were still on YouTube, he started to do it. And these two were down in at the Crockett Cup. I don't think the WWE deal with New Japan is going to have any interaction with the main roster talent. I think what would happen is if they do a deal, it's going to be to because Impact's working with New Japan, and then Ring of Honor's had their dealings with them. AEW's had their dealings with them. It's almost like just to mess with these organizations here. And then if they do get them, they're going to job them out.
Yeah.
They won't do it right. That's the problem. Any chance Kenny Omega collects the NWA title has Nick Aldis or
That's an interesting concept there. I think that I could absolutely see there being some kind of a deal made where Kenny Omega does a spot where he comes over and challenges for the title to collect it, and that would be very interesting. Because I think right now between AEW, Ring of Honor, and NWA, all three of those guys or organizations are open to working with one another. Impact Wrestling as well too. I should excuse me because
company will not die.
Well, but Impact has really started this whole thing with with the with Kenny Omega and Cyrus coming over there and going after the title and whatnot. So I mean that's the champion versus champion business, and so I think that would be phenomenal. Have a undisputed heavyweight champion, because at that point, barring WWE's title, Kenny Omega would have. I mean, he'd be hard to be on. It would be hard not to say he's the undisputed champion of the world.
True.
If he held that many belts.
Right. Now, the only thing that I've heard about Kenny Omega and Nick Aldis is Nick Aldis made a comment, what is in it for me? So, really, if there's nothing, which I get that.
Yeah.
But I've heard Billy Corgan, the only thing I've really heard was Billy Corgan talk about, and I think he said it on Busted Open, was he said Cody Rhodes, Nick Aldis 3. And right here, Trailer Park Cinderella said, I think AEW buys out Impact by the end of the year. AEW Impact, their talent down developmental system in Nashville. I could see them buying them out, and for what it's worth, I think it was from what I had read, AEW or Impact had approached Tony Khan to buy them, and before he created Impact.
Yeah.
And you got to figure, Impact has so much stigma on it that not good,
I know bad things.
stigma. So, like, I could see them going, "Hey, I want to create my own fresh product." What's that say right here? Please don't buy Impact. I would rather see more competition, more, but I would prefer to see people work together too. Let's see what we got here. Nick Aldis has been champion for 2+ years. What's in it for him now? I mean, LOL. I think what you need to be doing is really looking in it for the company. Is your company going to? How's it play out for the company?
Well, how does it play out story wise? It needs,
Right.
At the end of the day, it needs to be a story that builds, has a payoff, and makes sense. You know what I'm saying? And you need to look at it not just in the, okay, we take him up to the match, but say they let Kenny Omega beat Nick Aldis. What's the game plan from there? Is Nick Aldis going to get a rematch? If he goes and he gets a rematch with Kenny Omega and he beats Kenny Omega, does he become the undisputed world heavyweight champion and he's taking all the belts, or is he just challenging for the NWA title?
Right.
I think it would, you'd have to sit down and flesh out where you want the story to go. And honestly, if you want it to be successful, in my opinion, you need to know what the end game is. Right. You need to see where this ends.
And you want to make sure all boats are lifted.
Yeah.
You don't want the AEW, we're the superior product. As you can see here, WWE don't own the TNA library. I know that there was talk of it, but they don't own it. Here, I don't want AEW to buy Impact, but I think when they gave Kenny their belt, they have zero leverage, which is true.
Yeah.
And then we go down here. I think people don't think of TNA library. That means WWE owns the current. Let's see. It's a different company. True.
But when you look at WWE right now, how many of those guys, their big superstars, came from TNA?
Right. Just real quick while we're got a little break. Fellas, thanks for commenting. If you don't mind, please click the subscribe button on the YouTube channel. That would be a lot of help for us. And then I'm going to have his YouTube channel up. If you don't mind giving his a like too, or he might only have selected friends. I don't know. Let's see what we got here. Let's see. They did have Joe with a big feud with Brock.
Well, you can't undermine what AJ Styles has done over there.
No.
AJ Styles has been great.
Vince selling WWE would be the best for WWE.
It depends on who he sold it to.
That's probably who's he sell it to. If he sells it to
oh, close call there, fellas.
See, they're tagging.
Yeah, he almost jacked him, but he called it.
We do have intentions of live streaming, doing like this type of talk with all the pay-per-views for NWA. There
it is, Master Lock.
Up on not Damian Sandow, Aaron Stevens.
You can read it.
I am reading it to myself.
AJ has done everything in just 5 years. Take a WrestleMania match, every belt, dozens of main events on pay-per-view. AJ Styles is the best wrestler that TNA produced.
Yeah.
And he proved it.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, isn't he a former NWA heavyweight champion?
They haven't made the what's that?
Isn't AJ Styles a former NWA heavyweight champion?
Yeah, 2-time.
Yeah.
I know he's a 2-time TNA champion. Were they TNA or were they NWA at the time?
I thought he did NWA heavyweight title once.
They haven't made the announcement for the next NWA pay-per-view yet, so.
Now, if you ever get the opportunity to see these guys live, absolutely do it. We went to the first Crockett Cup that they ran with Ring of Honor, and buddy, it was well worth every penny we spent to go watch it. It was an absolute phenomenal show. It was just fun, good matches. And watching stuff like this, watching Ring of Honor, these other promotions, it makes you enjoy wrestling again. Although I got to admit, I do enjoy the heel run that Roman Reigns is doing right now.
Oh, they finally turned him heel.
Oh man, yeah.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
He's very good heel.
Yeah, he is.
And they've got him with like one of
the. Yeah, they got the Usos. Well, the Usos were talking about they were going to win the titles, the tag titles again.
Or the other one?
Huh?
What's that?
You said is he with one of the Usos or
both?
Oh, because they do both.
But they're like fighting, aren't they? Fighting like one of them wants to
I didn't know
them, but then the other don't. But they're like together. He's like the head of the table, the Samoan tribe chief.
Well, he just did an interview where he basically told him, he said, y'all need to get it done. And he said, y'all need to win the titles and bring those titles to me. I mean, it's just and he's with Paul Heyman, and just the way it's going over. I mean, it is absolutely phenomenal what they're doing with Roman Reigns. He's absolutely
see what's going on.
Yeah, he's killing it as a heel.
So right here, Trailer Park Cinderella said, well, for what it's worth, Colt Cabana is a former NWA champion.
Yep.
Is going to guest WWE sales to Endeavor. Endeavor now owns 100% of the UFC. No, WWE, I can't see them. Endeavor's not going to waste money on WWE. Because I think they've got to worry about their cleaning house inside their own company right now. If I had to guess, right? What would y'all say?
I'm going to share a theory a friend of mine shared with me. I think that the one thing that I see or could be a potential possibility is I could see ESPN, who's owned by Disney, purchasing WWE. And then what you will see is, because Disney's looking for attractions within their parks and different things of this nature, Disney creates the Hall of Fame to where you can actually tour it there on Disney properties. And they've got the WWE, they've got all the Hall of Fame stuff, and that will become an attraction. Plus, you take WWE wrestlers, and Disney, could absolutely start using some of that as attractions within the park as well, too, having the, meet and greet with the wrestlers and stuff like that. And, because they're as big a characters, and I mean, not trying to trivialize them, but, they are absolutely, they're as much of characters as Mickey Mouse.
I can see WWE, if they're not bought by ESPN, they're going to be bought by a big company.
Yeah.
I can honestly see them being bought by Universal because they just put the network on Peacock. Universal has the studio. So what you were talking about, so they could put it on Universal Studios, a Hall of Fame, too. So let's go to the next comment here. Jay is the right-hand man of Roman. Jimmy's is shifty at the moment. All right. So there you go.
Oh, okay.
With the Usos. That's who.
Now I'm trying, because I can't remember which one's married to Naomi. You don't know? You don't
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Jay.
They got the good one.
Let's see. Now, next one. The Marvel crossovers are endless for WWE pay-per-views. Well, that's or the video games.
Well, I would say this.
Will see Iron Man come out like
RoboCop? If they want to promote those movies on WWE programming, that's fine. When you start trying to introduce, let's just go back to WCW with RoboCop. That is still seen as one of the worst segments in wrestling history. And WCW put one of its biggest stars with RoboCop to walk out there with. It was stupid. You watch it now, it's not fun. And they were doing a cross promotion for the movie.
Right. Let's see. Next thing is Disney is going to ruin wrestling and give us hologram matches with dead wrestlers. I don't want it. True. That's a good possibility. But at last pay-per-view, they had zombies come out during one of the matches, and everyone went nuts about it. They were upset. And then finally, Jimmy is married to Naomi.
Thank you.
Well, I guess I was wrong with my 50-50 guessing. I guessed Jay. I was telling him, I don't think you had got here yet. The one thing I would love to see ECW should be, that they should have brought was, they should have been, the three-way dance should be when one person gets pinned, that team or that individual leaves. That's what I would prefer to see. I don't like the one person, the champ don't get pinned, but he loses the belt, or she loses the belt.
Well, and I ain't gonna lie to you, this match is boring. You got too much trying to happen. You know what I'm saying? It's usually three-way dances. You take three guys and try to have them a three-way match, and that can be, you can struggle with that. Now you put three tag teams in there.
Let's see. Jason Voorhees says, I remember a little fella watching Hogan and Macho Man. That's where I found out Santa wasn't real. They had the wrong camera angle, and Hogan missed every elbow by a mile, and Macho Man was selling it. Yeah, but he made up for it when Macho Man jumped off the top rope on that Nitro, and he bounced his chin off the metal gate. And then he popped him right in the face. Hogan just grabbed him and popped him, gave him one right across the face. Remember that one?
Yeah.
Let's see. And then Trailer Park Cinderella says, I think three-way dance booking buries both talents. The internet would hate it. I love it, though. I like the old ECW model, and that's the one, out of everything that they could copy from ECW, that's the one thing that no one wants to copy. But do you remember when Taz got pinned? Who was it? Mike Allison? I don't remember who the third person was.
What was he waiting on? That looked ridiculous.
All right, so now he got kicked. Crimson just got kicked low blow by Kranos. Aaron Stevens pins him. Wow, they kept the belt.
Well, you're not doing too good on the predictions.
No, I'm not. And I see Aaron Stevens has been fighting because he don't want to be cheating.
Oh, okay.
And then this guy wants to cheat. So, let's see. Tonkin Awesome. Oh, look. That's got him first. And then Awesome won the belt.
When I'm looking at that cat, old Kranos, I'm seeing Curly from Three Stooges. That's what he reminds me of.
I wonder what's up with it. That little bit of bandage around his leg.
I see that.
It was almost like a headband. But an intricate. Okay, Serena Deeb's up now with Camille.
Camille has been waiting weeks for this opportunity. All the way from
So now I get to see what the hype's all about.
You've never seen Camille?
No, the other one.
Oh,
I've never seen any of them.
She had to wait on the sidelines while Dee defended her title somewhere else. I know Camille is furious, and I don't think there's anything more dangerous.
Now, Camille is engaged to that one. Well, obviously, you would know the Tom Latimer character guy who was just in the room, the big muscle head. Oh, okay. I bet you. All right, who do y'all got? You don't know who they are. Who you gonna pick?
Let me I see
Okay.
her. Boy, she's not gonna win.
That's Camille coming out.
Yeah, she's gonna lose.
You think so? Why?
Yeah, I could just the vibe she had when she came out.
I don't know.
Look at that. There,
she'd throat punch you so hard for saying that.
She's no Lex Luger.
Now, if I'm right, she went and tried out for WWE. They told her to go. They didn't pick her up, so she went and did the lingerie football for a couple years, and so let's see. Serena Deeb reminds me of Hill Bret Hart looks the single crab, stomps the back of the leg.
See, that's what I'm interested. See, that's why I'm interested in seeing her wrestle.
And then the next comment was the small details Serena is so good at. That is true. You know the good thing, she played for the Atlanta Sting team. So you can Google that when you get home.
Oh, okay, I will do that. No, I've seen a few of those lingerie football. I know when they first came out, it was like the lingerie football thing. It looked like they had a bunch of like models in there. But recently, I don't know if they call it lingerie football. It's a different name though. But yeah, they still wear the skimpy outfits, but
Yeah.
those girls play.
I've never watched it.
I mean, they
since I don't like football anyway. Now, I believe Serena Deeb was in CM Punk's faction. Remember years ago when he had that Colt?
Yeah.
That was her, and she shaved her head, if memory serves.
Wow.
Here's what I would say about Serena Deeb. That's going to register. That's going to go in the log book, and she's going to remember that. That's not going to intimidate her. That's not going to be her head. She's just going to make a check mark, just like that will, and she's going to mark that. Okay, what's next?
I will say there for several years, women's wrestling was a joke. You didn't, and it's funny that it turned that way because I remember in the early 80s and stuff, obviously there was not women's wrestling like there is today, but I just remember when they would come to town, if there was a women's match on the card, man, those women went in there and were trying to kill each other. You know what I'm saying? But they had talent like these ladies do. And then, we went through that whole period where it was like you had Trish Stratus, Mickie James,
Lita, and
China was very limited, very limited. But by and large, they were the only ones that actually had any true wrestling skill. You watched all the other stuff, and it was hard to watch, man. I mean, these women did not have the ability that these ladies do. And then, of course, they went through that whole bra and panty phase where any match that a woman was involved in, had to go down to, they had to be stripping each other half naked.
Yeah,
or,
like lingerie pillow fights and those things like that.
And it was just like, they just cheapened it so bad. And but now, and this is across all the different organizations. I mean, you've got a lot of women that are very talented and actually very skilled at the art of pro wrestling. and I'm glad to see that it made a return, obviously, because I mean, when did it die?
Right. Now he says here, Trailer Park Cinderella at Women's Wrestling Dark Period was 2006, 2013. See, the problem is just what you were saying. You would have like the really good wrestlers in there, and then you had the models in there, and it was like muddy in the water.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you're not. It was such a hit and miss thing, Gary. Trish and Lee, they retired in 06 and until NXT Network. Era's wrestling, women's wrestling was popcorn matches and restroom breaks. I'd agree with that somewhat. Charlotte, them girls, Charlotte, Sasha, Bailey. Who's the other one? There was another one. Oh, Becky Lynch, I guess. They really brought her back around.
Yeah. I
still am shocked that they never did that full horsewomen of wrestling and four horsewomen of the MMA.
Yeah.
But, I guess Ronda's pregnant now. And they released the two other girls. So the only one you got left is Baszler. As they were saying, Serena Deeb can make her look good.
Oh, yeah.
Even though she don't have the talent, but she's still a young wrestler, Let's see, AJ Lee looked great at her time, but was immediately outdone when Charlotte, Sasha, Bailey, and Becky came up. I guess you would also add, what about Paige? I forgot about Paige, too. And Paige was great once she got the main roster and completely phoned it in. I don't know. So what was first? I thought AJ was okay.
I'm gonna admit this. At one point, AJ was the main reason why I would watch WWE, and I think my biggest complaint with her was, I don't think they utilized her as properly as they could have.
Right.
Yeah, I just think that maybe the way they pushed, the way they did it, the way they utilized it could have been a little bit different, a little bit better.
Has Deep had any offense?
No.
Right. In 2012 was AJ's show. She was in 3 segments a week for like a year. How long was she there after CM Punk left? Well, she wasn't there very long after that, was she? She was gone pretty quick.
I can't remember how long she was there after that.
Simple and incredibly effective with the bear hug. Anyone knows how to get out of it, it's Deeb. Elbows to the side. Beautiful suplex. Will it be enough? Hooks the end outside.
Okay, AJ left in 2015.
All right.
Now, is Tim Storm retired?
He's had a match with that one guy, Sal.
Is he just kind of like a part-timer now?
Yeah, but he's just been doing all the commentary for.
It's kind of like Ole Anderson, He sits over there and does commentary, but somebody needs to go over and jack him in the jaw for a spot. They can't.
Right. Yeah. Or remember when Jerry Lawler?
Yeah. Right.
One of the best things you brought up Ole Anderson was the confectionery when they him and you got the confectionery
Yeah, he
treat.
took it out there to old Gordon Sully. And it was a fucking chocolate penis. Oh yeah, you can pull it up on
And you see
YouTube.
him pull it out of the box. He goes, "Oh, it's melt. It's been melted. Chocolate's all over the bottom of the box." And he pulls it out, and it was a penis.
Gordon Sully asked him, he said, "Did you model for that?"
That's all it is. It's the weirdest thing, you know. What's it say here? AJ Lee. Let's see. As for her release, the night after WrestleMania 31, where her and Paige beat the Bella Twins.
Oh, okay. Because I know she wrote a book,
Right.
and she talks about mental health issues because she had some, and she's open about it, had some mental health issues.
Well, this match has been all leaning on Camille. It's been there's been no type of getting to see anything here. Oh,
Well, I'm seeing,
her talker walked away.
I'm seeing how she gets. I'm seeing how she. I'm learning a lot from how she handles the reaction aspect of it. How she sells is what I'm looking
right,
for.
how you sell, and I tell you, how you make Camille look.
I was trying to think who was that other, like there was another power wrestler that whenever they would, was it Luger? I have Luger on the brain for some reason. Depending on who he's in the ring with, like if he was in the ring with somebody good, he looked phenomenal. But if he was in the ring with somebody that wasn't,
Right.
that could probably be a lot of wrestling.
Luger was like that.
Yeah.
I tell you, another one was JBL and Batista.
Yeah.
I mean, they were both okay, but I think when you did, I remember that match because Batista was coming off that match with Triple H. JBL's coming off of the Eddie Guerrero stuff. I thought, wow, that's going to be too big, a great match. And boy, they did not. I didn't think they worked very well together. Oh, she's getting some offense.
A little bit. Here we go.
Okay.
Oh, Batista's carved himself out a nice little acting career, though.
Yeah, he's not doing too bad.
Yeah.
You're right about that.
I think Brock nowadays can have a good match when he's working with great talent.
Wow.
Brock Lesnar, if that's his style, you know, he's now in that whole. You only get 4 or 5 minutes with Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
His match is over. But he plays that character to the max, though. Boy, he's
But he's one of the last true attractions that we had.
right.
He was a part-time wrestler with the heavyweight title.
I don't know if I would ever put the belt on him, just because where he's so infrequent.
Yeah.
And also, there's no need to put the belt on him.
Imagine if during tonight's main event, if Brock Lesnar hit the ring, cleaned house.
Well, if that happens, well, Nick Aldis loses. Well,
No.
if he just beats him up, yes.
That'll never happen. NWA doesn't have Brock Lesnar kind of money.
So isn't that widow thing that is that Paige did that?
I think it was AJ that did
That
that.
was her big move.
Yeah, that was her big move.
Let's see. Would you put a belt on Braun if NWA Impact? No. I don't think I think I would have Braun do the whole attraction thing. I don't think he needs a belt. If it was me. Because Because if I was him, I would not sign to make. All right, she's prepping to do the gore or spear. Huh. Deeds rolled up a single leg. But I think Christian Cage is going to take the NWA title off of Omega. He'll be the savior of Impact and bring the belt home to his old stomping ground. Okay, Camille got to the ropes.
So far, this has been a really good match. It's fantastic. Oh, now Camille's doing it.
Now she's got a single leg crab.
I sense a small package roll up or something coming.
Who Deed to win?
Yeah. Not maybe this. For some reason I see a roll up win.
All right, so now Dee's gotten to the thing over there. See, and AEW will, let's see, buy out Impact, have Christian be the veteran for their developmental brand of Impact.
Oh,
Now Camille's spear.
Maybe.
1, 2, 3.
Oh.
We got a new NWA champion. Well,
I was wrong.
yeah. I really hope Impact don't get bought out. I want to see as many, or any company. I prefer them to stay separate so we can team up. But like I said, like we were talking earlier, I just think they should, as long as everyone's got something to give. They're not just one-sided. Well, that was a good match. What did you think of it?
I thought it was a decent match. It's a good match.
I thought it was good, but I think it was good because of the other lady. I think Camille's very green and very limited in the ring. I mean, I'm not saying she won't grow into a better wrestler, but you know, based on what she's been used for here as of late, she's very limited.
She is limited. She has a good look, but you need someone with a good talent.
Well, me looking at this is my first time watching her and seeing her win the belt. My first thought was like, why are they putting the belt on her? I understand that, but that's typically what they do. They'll just go with somebody who has a look,
Right.
but not so much talent. Unless she's just like a placeholder for somebody else.
Well, he says that Serena will sign back with AEW by tomorrow. I could see Serena. I could see Thunder Rosa going to AEW. She made a comment a few months ago that she said her husband made a big comment that we're about to make a big money. We're about to get big money. She's gonna get big money.
So she didn't do the Bret Hart and get on there.
All right, let's see.
Now,
Writing is on the wall. They gave Kenny their belt. I don't know, Ben. You got to figure Don Callis was an executive of Impact at that point, I believe, right? And I don't believe he is now. So let's see. Serena Deeb equals the Pinnacle. I can see that happening.
There he is. That's the real world champion right there. Nick Aldis.
Thunder Rosa plays on Florida for an action figure, so it's a matter of time. She got scanned for an action figure, Thunder Rosa. Yeah. It's coming. Yes, Nick Aldis is the world heavyweight champion. He's the real world champion.
I was about to ask, is that Mickey James?
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure.
And I'm not surprised. I'm shocked that since she got released, that she hasn't showed up here. I know she's releasing another country album.
Maybe she wants to just take time off and just stay home.
But yeah, maybe.
Now AEW, is that the one where Cody Rhodes is at? Or
Yeah.
which one?
Yes.
That's the one that's on TBS, well, they're going to TBS. They're on TNT right now.
Yeah.
The only bad thing about AEW is they've got a 2-hour show on Wednesdays, typically.
Okay.
They just signed. They're getting an hour show on. It's going to go to TNT at 10 o'clock on Fridays. So after SmackDown, you'll have no. So that's 3 hours, and then you got like an hour or 2 hours on YouTube, like Dark, AEW Dark.
Yeah.
Sometimes, unless it all looks different, I don't be just recording more at the event. You know?
Yeah.
I can see Mickey James being in the Rebel and Brett Baker crew. I can see Mickey James over there too.
You know, this is for the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. This is a unique situation. Both you men were trained by NWA legend and former champion Harley Race. I'll give you the rules in the back. I want a good clean match. I want you to lead all out here in the ring. Please return to your corners.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, we don't need your speeches,
Yeah,
ref.
I said, shut up, ref. We don't need a history lesson from you. We didn't buy this pay-per-view to listen to who trained them. Let's do it. I'd go over if I had Nick Aldis. I'd walk right across the ring, grab a handful of that red beer, and just tear it right off his face.
The AEW is coming to Charlotte next month.
Oh. And then, if I was Billy Corgan, I would switch Trevor Murdoch's gimmick to where he'd have the Playboy Buddy Rose gimmick, and he'd be out there talking about how sexy he is and how men want to look like him and this, that, and the other.
There's some gimmicks that can be redone.
I'm sitting there thinking,
And I would, have him bring out women, you know what I'm saying, and him talk about how he's their eye candy.
you're like, look, dad bods are in. Nobody wants to see these muscles anymore.
You know, what about an Adrian the Street gimmick again?
You know what? I don't know, honestly. The flamboyant character, I don't know if it would get over, if they would be allowed to get over.
Well, I mean,
And
Goldust did.
That was a different time. That was, when was Goldust? 95?
Yeah.
So, Ricky Stark's going to be a big deal the next couple of years.
Probably.
I would expect that. But you look, NWA's doing like Ring of Honor. They have made a lot. So far, they've made a lot of people that are going to be big stars.
I want to see Nick Aldis, Marty Scurll
I would
go at it again, man. That was such a good match at the first Crockett Cup.
Right.
I want to see those guys hook it up again. I like Marty Scurll. He's got one of the best entrances in wrestling. And I'd like to see him wrestle again. Like, they were right before the pandemic, they had them invading NWA because they were setting up for the next Crockett Cup, the rematch and everything like that. So,
now see, that's old with the ref pushing Nick Aldis down like that.
Right. Yeah, but if they disqualified him, wouldn't he retain the title?
Yeah, and then that would hurt Trevor Murdoch.
Yeah.
Imagine they did end the match like that. Pushes the ref like you're disqualified.
Let's see. I think the flamboyant character today needs to be actual gay person to get over in today's age.
seen Nick Aldis get that frustrated.
But the thing was, if you looked at Gorgeous George, if you looked at an Adrian,
you'd almost could make the argument though too that the reason that those characters got over back in the day was because of the crowd, the audience that they drew, and now you can't really say that it's just beer swigging rednecks that sit and watch pro wrestling.
right?
You know what I'm saying? So, but I mean, I don't know. I think it all depends on who's doing the gimmick and how they own it. You know what I'm saying? Because in theory, if you'd have put Goldust, the Goldust gimmick did not get over. Dustin Rhodes got over.
Oh no,
Yeah.
He's the one that got Goldust over.
because they were giving him garbage.
Pure
Remember
garbage.
when Scott Hall, wasn't it Scott Hall who came out and he had like a letter and he talked about how he had a sexy chest or he supposed to got it from Gold Dust and he would read it. I mean, it was like really strange and like it wasn't good at all. I mean, it was just like a weird gimmick.
Yeah.
But yes, Dustin, it was just like Dusty when he got put into stupid polka dots.
Yeah.
They were trying to make him look like an idiot and he got it over.
But that's what I'm saying. I think the gimmick would all depend on the individual. It does look. I will say this. It does to me. It looks like Trevor Murdoch has lost some weight. Trevor Murdoch's never been a thin man. He's always been built like this, even back when he was in WWE. And I think that's perfectly fine because we need guys that look like him in the business. Because you look back on the old school days, with the Dick Slaters, the Dick Murdochs, all those guys, man. Not all of them were built like Nick Aldis. A lot of those guys were built like Trevor Murdoch, and so I like seeing the variety there in the body styles and whatnot. And I think there's something to be said because you don't look at Trevor Murdoch and go, oh, that's a technically sound wrestler. He just looks like a tough MFer that would knock your damn teeth down your throat just to prove a point. And I don't know. I think a lot of it's going to depend on who does the gimmicks and how well they own it.
I'd agree with you. I think Trevor Murdoch's a very good talent, and it's a shame that he flexed his chest.
That's him saying hello to his wife and kids back home.
And Trailer Park Cinderella says wrestling fans today are anime, video games, and nerd crowd. It's just facts. It's definitely a different crowd watch. I do agree with that.
But we've talked about this before. Back in the day, wrestling, the goal of wrestling was to create lifelong fans.
Right.
Which is what we were for, a long time. I know we watch it now, and I credit NWA a lot for us watching what we watch. But I don't watch WWE programming. The only way I know anything about what's going on with WWE is what little bit I see online. You know what I'm saying? But they don't make long-term fans. You're looking at a turnaround time of 5-10 years maybe. In and out.
Right. I think one of the worst things that they've done is where they all are playing a character. I know we've talked about this. It's because they play a character and then they want to go out to tell and go, look, I'm not really a stuck-up Englishman. I'm a nice guy and I go feed the homeless and I got a wife and kid at home and blah, 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 and we're really good friends in the back. That's one of the worst things that happened to the business. Good God.
Well, like you said it best, and this makes complete sense. Back in the day, the heels and the faces stayed separate. And now what happens is, and I'll just use these guys as an example, Trevor Murdoch's going to get done with his match here with Nick Aldis, and they're going to take to Twitter and stroke each other off about how great of a match and thank you for everything and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, okay, well, if you're truly at each other's throat, if you're truly fighting each other, Which, I mean, again, now, I mean, we're spinning reality here because, I mean, everybody understands that it's a stage performance. But my point being is you're not going to buy into it if these guys are sitting there clapping and patting each other on the back right after they get done.
Right.
You know, I think that they ought to design matches too. You know, we ought to go back to the old school way of, you know, setting matches up to where they don't, to where they look more like legitimate contests.
Right. Well, like he was saying here, he was talking about Serena Deeb, how she would work a body part, like Bret Hart used to do.
Yeah.
Right.
Let's see. I didn't like Thunder Rosa and Britt Baker having the bloodbath, and right after they were crying and hugging backstage on the AEW official YouTube channel moments after the show went off the air. That's absolutely right. That's exactly what we're talking about.
Used to be a time these guys protected the business.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They protected the business. And now it's like I said, you know, and I realize we're in different times. You know what I'm saying? I realize that, you know, we're not back in the late 70s, early 80s, and you know, I realize it's a different world out here, but you know, still, you want people to buy your stuff, you want people to tune in for your matches and stuff. Well, you're creating a world and a storyline that if you want me to suspend my belief and follow you down that rabbit hole, then give me a reason to feel like that there might be some legitimate heat between you.
Right.
You know, because
that is a good podcast, keeping it real, keeping it 100. That's one with this guy Inferno and
careful. Oh, there he is.
Flying Bulldog. He's there in the ropes. Oh, grab the leg.
I'd like to see some specialty matches come back too. Like I'd like to see like the coal miner glove match or the dog collar match or what's another one I used to do? I always enjoyed the lumberjack matches, but you know those always end up getting out of control fast.
True, but they're really nice for like house shows when you have all the good guys, following the good guy crowd.
Yeah.
Then all the good guys just beat up the bad guy and throw him back in the ring.
Oh, here we go. There's old girl's
yeah, that's Camille.
fiance with his man bun.
When we were at Ring of Honor, I think we rode the elevator with him, didn't we?
I think you're right.
Oh,
he gave it to the referee.
He did the ref.
That's what I'm talking about. Who saw that coming?
Why would he?
Well, the ref
Who
did.
saw that coming?
The ref did push him earlier.
He put it across the ref's back. That was awesome. That was awesome right there, buddy.
Where's the backup ref?
This has been a good. These last two matches have been excellent.
Yeah, they've been really good.
This is a fun match.
Didn't see that coming though with the ref. That's good stuff right there.
Like, so what's going to happen? You think someone's coming out to help?
I don't know, but you know what's really good is he's hit him in the back with the chair. He just came off the top rope with the elbow to the back of Trevor Murdoch, so he's working his back. Oh.
See, yes.
Was it ref was gonna get up and see him with the chair?
No, I hope not.
But nah, I don't see the ref. No.
Where is the ref?
He's still. Oh, there he comes. See his little hand coming up.
I mean, he just took a chair to the back.
Oh, he's got him in the. That's the Texas Clover Leaf.
Yeah.
Let's go.
The ref grabbed the chair.
Ah, he's disqualifying somebody. He's eliminating guys.
He's blaming Trevor Murdoch.
Yeah, he's blaming Trevor Murdoch for the chair to the back.
For a second, I thought the ref was going to grab the chair and
did
hit
he
him.
even see Trevor Murdoch with the title?
No.
Or not the title, but did he even see him with the chair?
Look, Man wins by DQ. Wow.
There you go.
Okay. Good job. Wow. You know when Eddie Guerrero had his boot ripped off and he threw it and then the ref like turns or whatever, like one of them things. That was neat. This guy didn't even see him. He just got back in the ring.
That's what I'm saying. That's why it's like I liked where they were going with it, but I think they dropped the ball with the payoff because the ref should have seen Trevor Murdoch using the chair
Or holding it.
or something on Nick Ogg, and then he can make his assumption, hey, he's the one that hit me with it.
Maybe a rematch in the cage or a dog collar match gimmick. There could be you could be put them up for a rematch, or should be. It's weird.
Nick Aldis always entertains me. I always enjoy his matches. And I'm telling you, man, that guy is like top shelf. Good main event, kind of a squirrely ending. I like where they were going with it, but I don't think they executed it very good. So, just personal opinion.
See if they announce when the next pay-per-view is going to be.
This is not fair. That's an understatement, man. I worked my ass off to get to this moment at the very end. I get shafted. Like, what else? What else do I got to do?
Does it just make you sound like Moses?
I worked hard.
Kind of looks like whatever. Look.
Like, this isn't an office. This is between me and Nick. Like, every step of the way, he's one step ahead of me. And I don't know what else to do at this point, guys. Like, I don't know if this
Gimmick change.
Yeah, he's gimmick change.
That's who can come out.
Babe Buddy Rose.
I'll tell you how it changes.
He can revive Sting's crow gimmick.
Yeah, that's right. Well, Tim Storm looks like Rich Caruthian leather. Man, he is tan. His fingertips are white. He's so tan. Look at that.
I want to see his feet.
I bet he got the tan line. It's real stark white.
Yeah.
Mama Storm. LOL. Yeah, Mama Storm. Which I was always surprised they never used his mom. They made a t-shirt for her. All right. So, well, the pay-per-view's over real quick. Let's just talk about it. We'll start with you. What did you think? You've never seen NWA? Well, you've seen clips of it.
Yeah, I've seen clips of it.
What did you think of it?
It was enjoyable. What I was expecting, to be honest with you.
And what matches was there any matches that stood out?
Not really.
Okay.
I mean, the last two matches were good. I don't think I saw necessarily a bad match. Like I said, there was some botch spots, a little squirreliness, like especially that last ending. But there was no match I walk away going out with a horrible match.
All right. Well, thank you very much for the subscribe. If you've got a channel, let us know, and we'll subscribe back to you too. Just to let you know real quick. Well, and thanks for all the interaction during tonight's event. Yes, to the Fair was a great pay per view. But go ahead. Sorry about cutting you off.
No, that's all right. No, that's pretty much what I was. And it's nice having like say variety, and it's nice you can tell what this product is different than let's say WWE.
Yeah.
And it's always good having like variety and just stuff that's a little bit different than what else is out there.
Right.
Yeah. So.
And would you concur with everything you just said?
No, I wouldn't say I concur with everything. I think that I think it was a.
Clear the table off.
I think it was a good pay per view. I wasn't a fan of the 3-way match with the tag teams. I thought that I thought that was a boring match all the way around. I thought the female championship match was excellent. Camille's very green, and she was in there with somebody that was a tremendous worker. And then I think that the main event with Nick Aldis and Trevor Murdoch was absolutely fantastic till the very end, and I think they kind of botched the ending.
But it could have been good.
Oh, they set it up to be great.
Right.
And totally threw you a curveball. And I think the ref dropped the ball.
Right. Well, whoever that was the problem. I thought it was going in the right direction.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. The final 2 matches were great, but the 3-way dance and even the 4-way dance match, they had a tag match.
And
I don't think you saw that.
No, the Thunder Rosa match was good.
Yeah.
I thought that was a good tag team match. That was very well done.
It's a shame that they probably are going to lose to Thunder Rosa and Serena Deeb. But in the end of the day, that's the whole idea. They need to go on and get better money, bigger money, things of that nature. But overall, I thought the pay-per-view was good.
And I do like the 2 hours.
Right.
I mean, like that's a good runtime.
Right. So, all right. So that's about it. Thanks for coming over, Shaun.
Thanks for having me.
And I guess if you've made it this far, please click the subscribe button on our YouTube channel. Go into the description. You'll be able to see his YouTube channel maybe. And
my YouTube channel is Officially Shaun. Go check it out.
Officially Shaun. So until next time, I'm Brian.
I'm Iron Dutch Murdoch.
And that's Shaun. We'll see you later. Everyone, smile.